How you doing, Emily?
I'm good.
Okay, good. So we're going to get started. So like I said, if I'm moving too fast, just slow me down, because the recording part is going to be pretty much the radar. But after that, I do want to talk a little bit about your reading lesson, because I know you wanted feedback on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get started with the management feedback, let's start with the personal check-in. So how are you as a human?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Well, I'm graduating in like 3 weeks, so I'm really excited about that. I've been trying really hard to take better care of myself, like sleeping, and I got so bad about exercising before spring break, so over spring break I got back into it, so I've been exercising almost every day, so I think that's been helping a lot.
What are you noticing? How is it helping?
More energy. I have more energy, and they're better behaved when I have more energy, for sure.
Okay. And what about a professional check-in?
Yeah, everything's good. I was kind of disappointed about not teaching first again next year because I haven't really taught any grades for more than a year. So I kind of wanted to teach it again so I could master it. But I'm excited about kindergarten, and it'll be nice to share responsibility with someone else rather than all of it by myself. So I feel good about it.
Good. I'm glad you feel good about it, and I know Mariama kind of mentioned this to you, but the benefit of you teaching kindergarten is next year is that you already know what they need to be successful in first grade. So it's almost like you're backwards planning, you know, and so this is where they should be, by the time they graduate or are done with kindergarten. So this is how we need to get them started. So that's actually a really good advantage. And for me, when I started off with second grade and then I went up to seventh grade, what was helpful was that my seventh graders were so behind, but because I taught a foundational level, I knew exactly what my seventh graders were missing. So you can always make those connections between grade levels.
There was this one other thing that happened that I wanted to see what you thought about it. So I saw Mr. Dupton.
Let's save that. Can you write that down real quick? Because I want to get back to it.
Yeah.
This is your copy, just so we can go over it together. Okay, so for seeing the success, and again, this is between, I observed you on April 3rd, and then Monday, and then yesterday. Okay, so this is like a cumulative. So I love seeing students participate in the mini lessons. You gave very specific praise. You said, thank you, Milani, for following my directions. I really like when you were talking about how words make you feel, and then again, you gave praise to Quinn for that. You've gotten a lot better at clearly championing out the expectations, asking students questions, and checking for understanding. And this was a part of your coaching the last time we had a feedback conversation. So I'm happy to see that you're not only implementing this, but you seem to be comfortable with that. That feels good?
Yeah.
Doing that now? Yeah. Okay, good. You're celebrating your star students. But my only question there, and we can get back to that at the end, was just where was the rest of their information? What's their favorite color? What's their favorite subject? What's Faith's favorite book and color and subject?
So we do a different one every day of the week.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, good to know.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll ask their favorite colors. So in that way too, they can think about it. Okay, think about tomorrow what your favorite book is, so that way when we go to do it, they're not they've already have the idea.
I think time. Okay, good. I'm happy to see that instruction for reading is starting on time. As soon as you're done with community circle, you get right into your reading block, so that's great. Oh, and I really liked, so I think it was Monday, we were talking or when you were asking the students, how can you use pictures to help us read? And I didn't hear, the solve the word part, and so that's why I stepped in, because I wanted them to get that answer. And then you did it yesterday with Porter, and so I was happy to see that. And what you said was, like, what specifically can pictures help us do? And by you being specific, it helps the students to think critically about what specifically you're looking for. Good questioning going when you guys were talking about categories. The way the kids are getting, sorry, it's an error. The kids are getting their books a lot better. Did you get this from Cyril?
No.
The way they get their books, like line up?
Well, he told me that they go in a line, but it took me a while to figure out what's going to be the best way to get them to go do it. So I do it by the rows.
And then yesterday, I was happy to see you catch your own mistake. You thought I was about to tell you about the I can statement when I was just talking about Edrin. And so then you went back, you paused, and you went back over the I can statement. And anytime you forget that you forgot the I can statement, always go back. And it's perfectly fine to pause a lesson at any time to address something that might be important to the culture of your students or race or gender of the kids. To always pause for a teachable moment. And so if you ever have to go back to the I can statement, always feel free to do that. So I was happy to see you do that. So with all of that I mentioned, why do you believe these things are important for student success?
Well, for the classroom management stuff, like the way they get their books and instruction starting on time, those kinds of things have a huge impact on their success, because before spring break, these things were not going smoothly, they were not paying attention. I was having to stop so much to redirect, so we weren't even getting to centers, because that was taking so long, so that they didn't even have a chance to learn through centers. And also, it was such a long time for them to be sitting on the carpet that it was making it harder for them to pay attention, and then they weren't, getting the lesson. So all of those things make it more time. And then the praise for them answering questions and following directions, that encourages them to actively participate. When they're getting praise, when they get an answer right, it encourages them to raise their hands. The questioning is important for critical thinking. Yeah.
Okay. So we know how or why it's important for student success. And so then how does it impact learning?
Well, the same thing about the time. We learn more when we have more instructional time.
To learn, exactly.
Yeah. And again, with the praise, they're going to be more likely to learn if they're more likely to participate.
Okay, great. All right, moving on. So your coaching step, just like, our school-wide, but it fits perfectly for this room. And I actually, to be honest, Emily, it was very difficult for me to find bite-sized feedback for your management, because there were so many things that I saw in management. But for me, the way we are trained to coach was really helpful. And so when I had to develop that PD for all of y'all, Teacher Radar just really stood out to me, because I think that's what causes a lot of management issues, not just for your room, but for everybody. The minute your radar is off, that leaves room for students to do whatever, you know what I mean? Which makes you lose instructional time, which makes kids not learn, and that just wreaks havoc. So we're going to focus on Teacher Radar today. And so we're going to watch those same 3 videos that we watched. And I'm going to have you again write down specifically what you saw those teachers do. And so the questions are right here, just so you can refer back to them as we watch these videos. So what did you see these teachers do? what happened when a student needed something that didn't have anything to do with the teacher was instructing or asking. What did you see them do that you would like to do in your classroom? And then another question I'm going to ask is, what did you see the students do, and what do you think those teachers did to get the students to behave in that way? Okay?
Okay.
I might have to turn my, oh no, do you see my phone?
Do you want me to call it?
No, I probably left it in the office, but do you have a hotspot?
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to use your hotspot really quickly. Let me pause this.